Left-wing double standards and hypocrisy. I'm Brian Lilley with the Rebel.media. Trudeau's Liberals have brought about a major shake-up in the diplomatic corps, claiming it's about dumping partisan appointments for non-partisan ones. Really? Yeah, that's the claim. Check out this story from the Canadian press. The headline claims this is about dumping politics from diplomacy. Quote, Liberals replace Tory political appointments in major diplomatic shuffle, end quote. Is that what was going on here? There were 26 appointments announced in posts all over the world. Were all of the people replaced political stooges for the Conservatives? No, hardly. First off, let's be honest about what diplomats are. They're the representatives of the government of the day in a foreign country. So having them reflect the government's ideas might sometimes mean having a political person in the job, especially when it comes to high-profile missions overseas. But both the Liberals and the media party have long complained about diplomatic appointments, at least from the Conservatives, that were anything but pure diplomats, the career civil servants. So bad. Yet governments of all stripes have always drawn from both sides, civil servants and politicians or political operatives. But it's only bad when Conservatives do it, apparently. So today, the Canadian press puts out a headline and a story that implies there were all kinds of political hacks removed from diplomatic posts, and then they give exactly 3 examples. 3 out of 26. Gordon Campbell, the former Liberal Premier of British Columbia, he's one of them. He was in London representing Canada in Great Britain. Bruno Sacamani, the former Mountie and head of Stephen Harper's security detail, he'd been posted to Jordan. And Vivian Berkovici, a lawyer with connections to the Ontario PCs, she'd been representing Canada in Israel. That's it. That's all. Oh, and of the 26 appointments that the Liberals announced, at least 2 have strong party ties and connections to the PMO in one case. Phyllis Yaffe is a longtime Liberal donor, having given almost $5,000 over the last several years to the party. She formerly sat on the board of the Toronto Star, the official newspaper of record for the Liberal Party. She was also a board member of the World Wildlife Fund when Jerry Butts, Trudeau's principal advisor, was heading it up. She was on the board. Is this getting cozy? Now, I'm not saying for a minute that Phyllis Yaffe doesn't have credentials to be the Consul General in New York, the post that she's been appointed to. She has a long career in business and broadcasting and entertainment, but if it was bad to appoint someone with political connections when those connections were Conservative, shouldn't it be just as bad when those appointments are Liberal? Or doesn't it count then? I can tell you it counts to taxpayers. We'll be paying Ms. Yaffe between $153,000 and $180,000 a year. The other appointment, it's even more blatantly partisan. Patrick Parasot is being named ambassador to Cuba with a salary of between $133,000 and $157,000. What's Parasot's connection to the party? That should be connections. He was a former staffer for Jean Chrétien in his PMO. And then he came back to work for Michael Ignatieff when he was Liberal Party leader and opposition leader. His ties to the party run deep, which should, according to the logic and claims made by the media party and the Liberals, make him ineligible to be an ambassador. What about the professional public service? What about career diplomats? I mean, aren't they the people the government should be calling on? That's what we've been hearing for years. Of course, despite claims to the contrary, the Liberals have never actually believed that, not in the past and not now. Diplomatic appointments was just one more stick over the last few years that the Liberals used to beat the Conservatives. And the media party, they were happy to play along then. They're silent now. They quickly forgot that appointing political hacks, well, that was ever an issue. They forgot that as soon as Trudeau was in office, and one of his first appointments was sending David McNaughton to Washington. Who's David McNaughton? He's a longtime Liberal strategist and the Ontario co-chair of the Liberal election campaign last year, and now our ambassador to the United States of America. Who did he replace? What wretched Conservative had to be moved aside for the pure David McNaughton? That would be Gary Dewar, the former New Democrat Party Premier of Manitoba, who was appointed by that hyper-partisan Conservative Stephen Harper. Look, I have no problem with the Liberals putting their people in place. It's how the system works. It's how it should work. What I do mind is the rank hypocrisy on display from the Liberals and the media party. Shame on them all.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.